What's happening, folks? It's Rich here. Level 3 Marble Garden Zone, starting with Act 1. You can already tell if you're looking at the map here. This zone is massive. Possibly the biggest one, I'm not sure. I think Carnival Night maybe runs it pretty close. Here's Act 2. As you can see, quite a lot more horizontal movement here. You move up and down a lot more. There's a little looping section in Act 1. And let's have a look at the badniks. So this is Spiker. Spiker looks like some spikes, believe it or not. We're going to have a bit of a closer look at him in game, I think. Here's Bubbles. Bubbles is a twat. No one likes Bubbles. Bubbles is a prick. Bubbles looks pretty harmless here, but believe me, when you get to him in game and you're about to jump up and you don't pop your insta shield and then those stupid spikes come out, and that's pretty much you cursing Bubbles out for a few minutes. So here's Mantis. Mantis is a mantis, or some sort of weird grasshopper thing basically. He just jumps out at you, only appears in Act 2. And finally Relief. Relief is the weirdest name for any badnik ever. He doesn't even really qualify as a badnik, but you have to hit him to get some weird arrows to shoot and then break down some doors. So let's get into the game. Here we go. Marble Garden Zone. I'm not a huge fan of this zone, to be perfectly honest, but there's lots of special stage opportunities at least, lots of big gold rings. We kick off with the lightning shield as well, which is quite nice. Now coming up here, here's our first look at the Demon of Sonic 3. There he is, Bubbles. Now usually I'd stay away from him, but I've just seen those spikes go away, so I know they're not coming out anytime soon. And our second badnik is coming up right here. Here's Spiker. Now as usual, these little projectiles don't do shit when you've got a shield, but also he's got that extra added danger of the spikes on top. But not really, because for some strange reason they don't hurt you. Here we go, first big gold ring, first special stage. Got some more blue spheres to get on the blue planet this time. And so I'm going to leave you guys to watch this again. You know the deal by now, circling the blue spheres, and then hopefully we'll end up with another Chaos Emerald. Hey, we did it. Here we go. Add another one to the collection. This time we got the red emerald. So that leaves us with 5 and 2 more to go, including another revisit to that red planet that didn't go quite to plan in Hydro City. Oh, we got a little continue there as well, that's nice. So back into Marble Garden. So we get another look at Spiker here. And this is kind of the only way that Spiker can be dangerous, if you just sort of walk into his side like that. Especially if you've got a shield, but that's... I mean, I don't even really know what to say about that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I might watch that back later and see if maybe I timed that spin dash pretty wrong, but from that, all I can say is, what the fuck? So, I mean, a pretty good look at some of the bullshit that can happen in Sonic games. Being crushed by absolutely nothing. But, oh fuck's sake, now it's all going wrong. So, we're actually going to need this invincibility now, I think, just to keep us safe for a few minutes. Things seem to be going wrong. So this is the mini-boss anyway here. We didn't get a proper good look at it earlier, but that will be the mini-boss later on. Tails succumbs to the crush again. And we're actually going to make our way all the way up here to another special stage pretty soon. And it looks like it's going to be a difficult jump to make alone. I could go to the right here and get a little Beyblade thing, which we'll come across soon. Oh fuck me, that was a terrible jump. Could go and get that weird little Beyblade thing, but actually I think there might be another way around this. Yep. Whoa, keep away from bubbles. Yeah, and there we go. So, second special stage on the zone. But this is the 7th type of special stage in total, actually, because we fucked up the red planet. So this would be Chaos Emerald number 7. But once again, I'm going to let you enjoy that gorgeous music. Ooh, hoo hoo. Going to let you enjoy this special stage music, as well as all of the nice, bright, fun, flashing colours that seem to do nothing but make your eyes go a little bit funny. And there we go. Emerald number 6. Just one more to go. That annoying red planet that I messed up earlier on in Hydro City, but it does mean that we at least know what the last special stage is going to be. And once we've done that red planet, we get to see us some Supersonic. Hopefully we'll be able to do that by the end of this act. Actually, there is another gold ring that's not too far away from here. I hate being trapped in between two bubbles, but let's get out of there. Oh shit. So yeah, that's another part of this level where you get these weird giant spinning spiky balls that seem to just pop up out of nowhere sometimes. But here's the weird little Beyblade thing I was talking about earlier. These things are kind of odd. I'm not a big fan of them. I think they just slow things down a bit, and they're so hard to control. And as soon as you get hit, I'm gonna get rid of that fucking bubble. As soon as you get hit, you fall off, and for some reason, you don't lose rings if you're on them. But if you've got a shield, you'll lose your shield. So, I don't know, a bit of an odd decision by Sega there to make that the way that these work. So, yeah, as soon as you sort of touch the ground on these things, you get kind of speed boosted off in one direction. It's really hard to change direction with these because they slow down so much, and it just means that you go down. See, you just got to try and find a way to balance direction with height, and I know that I want to go up here, and I could probably just jump off of it now, but In fact, let's just get up there. There we go. Ooh. So there's a 1 up here, but also another gold ring, which means hopefully we can have another go at this red planet. But I'm going to let you into a little secret. I'm going to speed this thing up because I done goofed again. This red planet did not go too well. Very similar mistake to last time. Doing pretty well. And then right at the end, a little bit of a goofball move. I'm trying to find those last couple of blue spheres. The ones with the weird jump. And I can't make that jump. So, there we go. Still on 6. But luckily we're in a zone that's got plenty of big gold rings. Plenty of special stage opportunities. And I'm pretty sure that it won't be too long until we get another opportunity. In fact, yeah, if we take this Beyblade this way and go up here, then we should be only a few corners away. There's another pointless spiker. Only a few corners away, a couple of turns from our next special stage opportunity. Bubbles. So I tried to pop an Insta shield there. Was trying to show off. Nearly messed it up. Luckily, Bubbles' spikes came up late. So red planet again. Let's try and see what happens this time. I'm going to leave it. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to use a slightly different strategy. Switching up them tactics. Let's see if we can come out with an emerald this time. So all we needed was to switch it up a little bit. Get them dodgy jump blue spheres in quick for the speed up. And there we have it. 7 emeralds. Now we're going to get that magic message up at the top. Yeah, that's what we want. So we've got a few zones here before Knuckles is going to steal them away from us. Not until Mushroom Hill will he take them back. So, let's continue our route through Marble Garden. So for those of you who have not played this game before, now we're actually right back to where the first special stage is. So we've not really covered much ground at all in terms of the zone itself, but done quite well in terms of emerald hunting. So yeah, for those of you who haven't done much Sonic before and haven't gotten to Super Sonic, you collect 50 rings once you've got all 7 emeralds. And in Sonic 2 all you had to do was jump, but since we've got a double jump mechanism here, instead of popping an instant shield, you'll become Super Sonic. And Super Sonic, as you can tell, is kind of Sega's version of Sonic in Super Saiyan form. He even gets the yellow colour and the flashy hair. You can probably tell as well that we're moving at breakneck speed now. Super Sonic has incredible acceleration. Look how high you can jump to. You can jump, it's half the screen sometimes. Still has all the other normal abilities. A kind of cool little crouch animation as well comes up instead of the normal one, where you've got this kind of athlete style on the starting block pose. Now I'm going to talk about shields with Supersonic in a moment, but before I do that, we're just going to take this little Beyblade thing, which is a little bit easier to use now that Supersonic's acceleration makes it easier to go up. And hopefully you were looking there, the ring counter just jumped up by 50, because that's what the big gold rings do now. We've got all the emeralds, we don't need to go in a special stage. We can't go in a special stage until Mushroom Hill, so instead the game gives you 50 rings, which is quite nice, especially when you're Supersonic, because if you haven't noticed already, check out that ring counter. For every second you spend as Supersonic, you use a ring's worth of energy. Now, I just picked up a lightning shield after having a fire shield earlier. Now, the fire shield's actually completely useless to us now, because as you can probably tell, Supersonic is invincible from pretty much everything minus drowning, crushing, and falling down holes. Basically, insta-death stuff. But this lightning shield is going to be nice and useful for us because, oh fuck, we need the Beyblade. Because we still get to use Supersonic, but we now have all of these rings coming towards us, making it easier to stay in super form. So the lightning shield's still proving pretty useful at the moment. We're going to stop Supersonic by going into a bonus stage and quickly leaving again. That's the easiest way to conserve your rings if you feel like you don't want to go through a Supersonic anymore. Hop into a bonus stage, it puts a stop to it, and if you had a shield before, you keep your shield. So now double jumping will not turn us into Supersonic, it will just give us our normal shield ability like that. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, fire shield's still pretty useless as Supersonic, but the bubble shield at least stops you from drowning, which is one of Supersonic's few weaknesses. Apparently Hypersonic, which is what you get as all 7 Super Emeralds in the Sonic and Knuckles side, is immune to drowning, which is true, but if you're going through the story mode the first time, you never ever actually find that out because there's no water in Sonic and Knuckles. You can only find that out if you click your save game, play back through. So here we go. Act 2. This time we don't have to bother looking for the special stage rings, unless we want to grab some quick rings, but we don't really need to at the moment. And we get our first glimpse of the boss for Marble Garden. And another weird effect that you get through this zone is these weird little earthquakes caused by some of these drilling machines that Robotnik's chucking around. And there you go, there's Mantis showing up for the first time. He doesn't appear at all in Act 1, but comes up fairly often here in Act 2. I can't remember if I don't think we saw Relief at all actually in Act 1 either, but we'll be seeing a Relief Badnik pretty soon, because we're going to start going through these kind of palace sections, I suppose, underneath. Oh fuck, Spiker. I think I downplayed Spiker's ability to annoy too much. So you can sort of clutch your way through with an insta shield through those spiked balls, but I really wouldn't suggest it. Always fun to do that weird little spin dash bouncing animation. And there we have it. So building up a good bit of speed there. Taking it. It's always a little bit easier to take some caution through Act 2 here, just because of those Mantis Badniks. You never know when they're going to appear, and sometimes they hop out at you when you've not quite made it into a spin dash yet, and you've got nothing to defend yourself. Still going to try and stay away from bubbles as much as possible though. I'm not a big fan of these little sections either. Again, it's just one of those things that kind of doesn't really feel like an obstacle. It's too easy, and let's just hop in here quick. I don't really fancy doing this particular special stage, bonus stage, pardon, so we'll get back out again. I'm just looking for the gumball machine now. So again, building up some speed, keeping that spin dash whenever we can, just because we're worried about the mantis. Quite a lengthy stage, but not too bad, not too hard. You get the odd thing like that happen, which makes you lose some rings, but now we're back in the cave, and I think we're going to come across Relief in a moment, and we can see what he's all about. Yep, here you go. So if you just crouch, you get hit. Then when that little red eye opens, you couldn't really see it very well because of the tails, but that's the time to jump up and hit. And once you've hit him, the mouth shoots out an arrow, kind of Aquatic Ruin style. And once you've hit him a couple of times, we've already done it now, you can get rid of these bubbles, they both just despiked. Something happens, like there was a little platform there that just came up, which allows you to move further through the zone. Oh, bubbles. So we're getting close to, not the boss, but some of the, I suppose, more famous sections of Marble Garden, including pretty soon this whole section where the landscape changes quite dramatically. So we've got a couple more of these cave palace things to go through first, a couple more reliefs to get through. Again, at least with relief, I mean, there's some obstacles in this level that just seem pointless, like I said earlier, because they don't really add any difficulty, they just add time, and at least with relief there's that possible aspect of hurting yourself on the arrow. Still looking for that gumball machine. Just see what kind of shields and stuff we can get out of it. Plus it doesn't take as long as the Sonic & Knuckles version. But, oh, going the wrong way there, here we go. So making our way still through this cave. The boss is going to jump out, there he is. I think the hits on the boss here do count, which is a bit unusual. They don't count on the first act towards the mini boss, but I'm pretty sure they do count towards the main boss in Act 2. But I have to say, can't be certain about that. I might just be completely bullshitting there. Maybe check it out. Check out Zone Zero or something like that. Zone Zero, by the way, is where I've been getting the maps from at the start of the video, if anyone's interested. So I've got some really good Sonic content on there, so check out zonezero.com if you're looking for any sort of Sonic related content, especially for the older games. And here we go, a little gumball machine stage. So we're just going to flip the gumball the gumball handle and try and pick up some of these bubbles that it chucks out. As you can see, every time I hit a spring at the side, we get the gumball machine to move down. And if you get that little green rep button there, which I've missed now, it actually brings the springs up at the bottom, so we get another chance to jump back up to the top again. But once you run out of springs, once you run out of space, you just fall straight back through, and that's you done. So after that little ground-breaking section there, oh, completely forgot that I had Supersonic then. I went to pop an Insta Shield, and actually this isn't very good. we're about to come across the boss, and this is actually quite a difficult boss in some respects compared to certain other bosses. Or it always felt difficult as a kid. I'm not so sure if it's particularly difficult now, but with Supersonic, this is really going to make a mockery of this boy. So let's maybe just get rid of this quickly, and then we might have to have another go doing this properly. You can kind of get an idea. You can control Tails just by pressing up and down now, but yeah, we didn't really get the full story. So there we go, the zone's complete, and we will be moving on to Carnival Night in a moment, but I think probably we'll give that boss one more go in a second so that we get the full story of what he's really like. So let's try that again. Just gone into another save game file. Here we go, so just the 8 rings, no danger of hitting any super forms here. So you can see you can get a couple of hits off straight away with the Insta Shield before the real boss starts. That's a pretty standard technique, I think. Most people try to do that. And then yeah, so as I was saying earlier, you can move Tails up and down, and this is the real objective of the fight. So Robotnik makes this weird fighting noise as you hit him, and he flies away, then he comes in from another angle. And you'd think I'd be dead there from doing that, but nope. That is not a bottomless pit now. At the bottom, Tails will just go and grab you, although it saves you a bit of time if you can grab back hold of his hands then. He never gets tired either, so bit of a difference to when you're using Tails' flight power normally. And the best thing to do really is to just hit the Insta Shield just as you're about to bounce off there, because then you don't take the risk of being hit by his engine or his drill at the top. But on that note, we're going to pop the capsule, free the animals, things are about to go a little bit dark, and I'll catch you in the night time in Carnival Night in episode 4. Laters!